So, excuse me. I had asked whether or not we were moving into the cloud in our last video, but if you haven't seen that yet, please do so. It's the one directly below this one. It's called "Have We Already Moved into the Cloud?" And I took a look at my own usage habits and realized that a lot of them were pretty much cloud-based. I've decided to start using Chrome again, um, and I obviously, like I said earlier, I do use YouTube. I've used Hangouts. I use Gmail. Uh, I can't stop downloading games for Chrome. I just love them. Bejeweled, Pop It, very simple puzzle games that I'm really fond of. How accessible is Chrome, by the way? If you go up to a Chromebook and you push Control-Alt-Z, there is a screen reader called ChromeVox, and I've actually taken some time over the last few days to try it out and see what it's like. And believe it or not, it is surprisingly easy to use once you get the hang of it. The only caveat is if you're going to use it on Mac or Windows, there's no easy way to activate it. You will need sighted assistance. What you can do is we're going to go over to the Chrome interactive tutorial here. And what we do is we go up into our Tools, Extensions, and down here where you see ChromeVox, enable.
ChromeVox is ready.
Okay, I'm turning it up a little bit. So it says ChromeVox is ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch tabs, but we'll do that in a moment. For now, we're just going to close this tab. We're going to go and hit Command W.
ChromeVox Interactive Tutorial, Step 1 of 11, Home, tab.
Okay, so on a Chromebook, your caps lock has been replaced by search. If you're familiar with voiceover, you know that you have voiceover keys, Control, and Option. The same thing here with ChromeVox. You have Shift and Search on a Chromebook. On Windows, those keys are Control and Alt, and on a Mac, they are Control and Command. I'm on a Mac, so we're going to follow the tutorial in that fashion. So we're going to hold down Control and Command, and we're going to use the right arrow to navigate. Actually, we're going to use the down arrow to navigate by group.
List with 2 items. ChromeVox User Guide, link list item. Feedback, link list item. List with 11 items. Home, link list item. Sticky mode, link list item. Controlling voice, link list item. Paid navigation, link list item. Text navigation, link list item. Jumps, link list item. Tables, link list item. Getting help, link list item. Address bar, link list item. Working with tabs, link list item. Conclusion, link list item.
Now I should stress, the voice that I have currently talking on here is not the default voice that comes with Chrome if you are on a Mac or a PC. That default voice is going to be dependent on whatever speech engine you have on board. So if you have a Mac, it's going to be Alex. I've installed this particular speech engine to try and get my speech as close to what you would have on a Chromebook as possible, just to get myself used to it. Because this is not just an experiment on accessibility, and it's an experiment for myself. I'm trying to see how well I can get along using the Chrome browser for pretty much everything I do, and see whether or not I'm personally speaking, I'm a candidate for a Chromebook. So I'm going to be testing that out. Anyway, we're going to hold down Control and Command, and we're going to move to the right.
Sticky mode, link list item. Controlling voice, link list item.
So that gives us access to the material within this group, but actually, I'm sorry, we want to move.
Sticky mode, home. List with 2 items. List with 11 items. Home.
We want to move down by group. I apologize. I'm still getting used to the navigation here.
ChromeVox Interactive Tutorial, Heading 1. ChromeVox enables you to use your keyboard to explore the web with the help of synthesized speech. You can stop ChromeVox from talking at any time by pressing the Control key.
So that's what I've been doing, is I push the Control key to in my personal speak. I just shut it up. Anywho, move to the next item. And for those of you who can see, you see a bright orange box surrounding the text that ChromeVox has just spoken. It's similar in a way to the voiceover cursor on the Macintosh. And for those of you who can see and are probably wondering why the heck are you having it repeated to me, because I can see it just fine, you have to understand that I do have subscribers on my channel who are legally blind and could very greatly benefit from this. Let's continue the tutorial.
Let's start off with the basic keyboard shortcuts required to read this guide. When pressed at the same time, the Control and Command keys are known as the ChromeVox keys. If you already know where these keys are located, you can press ChromeVox plus down arrow now to move to the next paragraph. If you would like more information on the location of these keys, press the space bar.
So that's really helpful. Because Chrome is installed here on the Macintosh, they've customized the tutorial for the Macintosh. It would be the same thing for Windows and Linux. So let's continue.
Excellent. You've now reached the next paragraph using ChromeVox plus down arrow. You can now either get an overview of all the keystrokes ChromeVox offers or move through an interactive tutorial. Press ChromeVox plus down arrow to move through the links on this page and then press Enter to continue.
So we'll do that. Incidentally, to help, I found that to be a bit convoluted because visually speaking there's no list, and I do have some vision, so I could just take a look at that list. Easy peasy. But unlike VoiceOver, where you get a list of commands, it doesn't do that in ChromeVox. You either up and down arrow and it'll speak the commands to you, or you can enter the command you're looking for and it'll tell you what it does. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and continue.
Continue to next section, sticky mode, link.
So let's do that.
Copyright, continued, copyright Google. Continue to next section, sticky mode, link. Continue to next section. Sticky mode. ChromeVox has a sticky mode that will keep the ChromeVox keys activated so you don't have to press Control and Command each time. To enable sticky mode, quickly double tap the left command key. You will then hear quote sticky mode activated quote. Activate sticky mode now. Then move to the next paragraph by pressing the down arrow.
This is extremely useful. As I understand it, there's a similar way to lock the voiceover keys in voiceover on the Mac, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But I've used this in ChromeVox. Extremely useful. The only problem is sometimes if you get used to navigating in sticky mode, you probably forget that it's on. And I've run into instances where I had to personally get out of sticky mode, otherwise the piece of text that I wanted to enter wouldn't work because it would recognize a letter that I wanted to type in a text field as a command. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. So we're going to activate sticky mode by pressing the command key twice. Now, here's the caveat. If you're on a Chromebook, I cannot tell you what key that is. I'll just have to see for myself the next time I go into a store and see a Chromebook in person.
Sticky mode enabled. Great. You've successfully moved to the next paragraph while using the ChromeVox sticky mode. Note how you can move up and down paragraphs as before without having to press the ChromeVox keys. Important. If you move to a new page, you will have to re-enable sticky mode. To move to the next section, press the down arrow. To move to the next link, then press Enter.
I'm going to have it read that again because I'm not sure how well that came through because of the clock chimes that just went off.
ChromeVox. Great. You've successfully moved to the next paragraph while using the ChromeVox sticky mode. Note how you can move up and down paragraphs as before without having to press the ChromeVox keys. Important. If you move to a new page, you will have to re-enable sticky mode. To move to the next section, press the down arrow. To move to the next link, then press Enter.
Now, I should note something. The reason it says you have to re-enable sticky mode is I'm going to explain how Chrome works. For those of you who might not be familiar with the under the hood technology aspect of it. To put it simply, think of having multiple shipping boxes, one next to another. Each of these shipping boxes contains a website. And Excuse me. And each shipping box has no way to communicate. The information on the website doesn't have any way to communicate with another item, another tab. So in a way, you could think of this as having multiple browsers open at once. As a result, everything is self-contained. You will need to re-enable sticky mode, like I said. You will also need to, if you're using Adobe Flash, re-enable Flash Player on your Chrome browser. Now, what sort of advantage does this get you? Security. If there's a problem on a particular web page, it won't manage to navigate out of its shipping box. As if we continue our analogy, the virus won't be able to navigate out of its shipping box into another shipping box and thus ruin the content on the other web page or your system. So it's a very interesting way of handling this. Interestingly enough, Android operates in the same way, which, like I said, that's interesting. So anyway, let's continue.
Continue to next section. Controlling voice. Link.
Now it says press down arrow, but there's a little bit of a bug here in the software. Right now, we're navigating by objects, and the tutorial will explain to us how to work around this in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. Think of a PowerPoint layout or a a heading layout, like you have heading 1, 1A, 2, 2A, that sort of thing. You start out with objects, which is the broadest, and then you get more narrow. You can go by lines. I'm sorry, you group, then you go object, word, object, line, word, character, that sort of thing. Right now we're in object mode, and to activate a narrower field of navigation, narrower field of view, which is not how ChromeVox is going to explain this, by the way, but it's how I like to explain it. We hold down the ChromeVox keys, which again, if you're on a Macintosh, it's Control Option. If you're on a Chromebook, it is Shift and Search. I think it's Shift and Search, or is it Control and Search? Maybe Shift and Search. And if you're on a Windows or Linux machine, it is Control and Alt. If you have sticky mode enabled, you won't need to worry about those keys like we do here. So I'm going to push the plus key.
Object. Continue to next section. Controlling voice. Link.
It's best to be in that object navigation mode, because if you have it in a group navigation mode, it won't highlight the link directly, which makes it impossible to activate. So now we've gotten into object mode, we're going to go ahead and hit enter.
Continue. Controlling the voice. ChromeVox comes with the ability to control your speech synthesizer with an assortment of commands that change the rate, pitch, and volume of ChromeVox speech. These commands are listed below. Press ChromeVox plus down arrow to continue.
Now, the other reason I went ahead with this particular speech synthesizer is because this is all you get. You don't have the ability, as far as I know, to change the voice. Now, keywords as far as I know. This particular voice I found in the Chrome web store. However, I am running this on a Macintosh, as I've been saying. I'm wondering if you were running it on a Chromebook, if you were to find the same voice or options even. I simply don't know. So you can adjust the attributes of this voice, but as far as changing voices, I honestly don't know how you would go about it. The only way I could think of is to get a second synthesizer, download that, and then you have to go into settings. You'd have to go up into that menu that I showed you earlier to activate ChromeVox, which is you go up into the menu, then you go into your tools, and then your extensions, and then enable or disable this particular speech engine. That's all I can think of.
To decrease or increase the speaking rate, press.
Let's go back out to group navigation to make this a little bit easier.
Group. To decrease or increase the speaking rate, press ChromeVox plus left bracket or ChromeVox plus right bracket. Dot.
So let's try that. Left bracket and right bracket to increase or decrease the speed. And again, if you don't have sticky mode enabled, you will need to use the ChromeVox keys.
Rate 98%. Rate 100%.
Believe it or not, this speech is at 100%, which I find really awkward. You would think 100% if you compare it to speech engines like Alex or Eloquence, that it's quite a bit faster. Uh, I don't know. I simply don't know. Let's continue.
To decrease or increase the pitch, press ChromeVox plus semicolon or ChromeVox plus apostrophe dot.
So let's do that.
Pitch 56%, pitch 61%. You can adjust the way your speech sounds at any time. The next section of the tutorial will show you how you can move through even finer detail levels such as sentences or words.
And that's what I was talking to you about earlier regarding the ability to move by object, line, and so forth. So let's go in here.
Continue to next section. Paid navigation, link.
Let's go into a narrower field of view, so I'm going to hit ChromeVox Plus.
Object, continue to next section. Paid navigation, link.
Enter.
Continue to next. Paid navigation. ChromeVox allows you to explore a page at different levels of detail. These levels are group, object, sentence, word, and character. Think of moving through these levels as quotes, zooming quote in and out of a page where the most broad level is a group, and the most detailed level is character. The minus and equals keys allow you to move through these levels. For example, if you are at the word level, using the left and right keys will allow you to explore by character. Let's try an example. Press ChromeVox plus down to move to the next group. Object level is a more specific level of detail than group level. At the object level, you can move within groups to view individual web objects like links, buttons, headers, and edit fields. So once you navigate to a group that you want to explore in more detail, simply press ChromeVox plus equals.
Now, everybody says it's equals, but I like to think of it as plus, because plus for increasing, minus for decreasing. Or in this case, plus for increasing detail, minus for decreasing detail.
To zoom ChromeVox into specific objects inside the group, try selecting the second list item object within the next group by zooming into the group with ChromeVox equals. Then try zooming back up by pressing ChromeVox minus. Try this on the following group by first moving to it in group mode with ChromeVox down.
Let me see. I think I'm in group mode right now. Let me see.
Line, object, group. Try selecting the second list item up.
So let's do that.
Ordered list with 3 items. 1. Apple, list item. 2. Orange, list item. 3. Banana, list item.
So we're in group navigation. That's another thing. Group and object, in some ways they behave similarly if it's just a block of text. So it depends on the block of text, obviously, but at times I've found myself wanting to be in one mode where I actually was in another and didn't realize it. And it's no fault of the screen readers per se. It's just my getting used to a new environment, for one thing. Another, though, is that you just get used to it, that it just ends up, putting itself in the back of your head. So let's go into object mode.
Object, ordered list with 3 items. 1. Apple, list item. 2. Orange, list item.
So one of the other analogies I can draw to this is switching from group to object is kind of like interacting in the Macintosh. In fact, it is like interacting. The only difference is the key combination isn't near as complex, especially if you have sticky mode on. It's much easier to get into. Rather than Control-Option-Shift-Down arrow on the Macintosh, you can just do Control-Command plus or minus, or if you have the sticky keys on by pushing Command twice, you can more easily navigate around to a specific level, and I just think it's more streamlined. So let's continue. So we've navigated the second to the list items, so apples are second.
3. Banana, list item.
So let's go back out to group.
Group 1. Apple. Did you see the second list item object? Was it orange? Keep moving around until you feel comfortable.
And I've already been moving it around like this for 2 days, so I am comfortable. But it, as you can see, this is a very structured step-down kind of tutorial. And the beautiful part is, no matter what what web browser you are on, it'll customize itself to your needs. There is one slight problem, though, and you'll see this when we get to navigating around tabs.
Once you get a feel for how object and group navigation works, you can use this to quickly move around a page. If you are not interested in any links within a group, simply move past the group to the next. However, if you are interested in a link or other object within a group, press ChromeVox right to zoom to the object detail level and explore the contents of the group. You can effectively skim through this tutorial by using groups. After hearing the first sentence of a paragraph, you can move on or continue listening. Continue to next section, text navigation, link. Object, continue to next section, text navigation, link. Continue to next, text navigation. Continuing with our exploration of levels of detail, we represent text units such as paragraphs, sentences, words, and characters, each is an additional level of detail. Imagine that any given object contains some amount of text. You can explore its text by increasing the ChromeVox detail level and therefore zooming in to parts of the text. Try exploring the text of this object by moving to a more detailed level by pressing ChromeVox minus. Move back to less detailed levels with ChromeVox plus. ChromeVox will announce the new detail level you have set. Once you have set your desired detail level with ChromeVox minus a plus, you can navigate around the page at that level of detail with ChromeVox up or down. Try moving through this text by word. Press ChromeVox plus until you hear words then press ChromeVox down to move forward word by word.
So let's try that just real quick. We already have a general idea because I've been explaining it to you throughout the video.
Line, word, text, navigation. Continue with our explore of levels of detail.
And if you wanted to, you could actually use the left and right arrows in word navigation to spell the word.
E-D-A-I-L. Lima.
Or
character L. Lima. Comma, space, W-E, space, R-E-P-R-E-S-E-N-D, space.
And I really like this. I'm not exactly sure what the equivalent is on the Macintosh, but I know within Windows you have to remember which set of keys is by line, which set of keys is by character. You don't have to here. You just use the exact same keys to navigate no matter what level you're in. You just have to make sure you're in the appropriate level. So let's get out of here.
Word, object, group, continue, try. Feel free to change the level of detail. Here's a challenge for you. Try spelling the imaginary word afflorable, inside the text box that follows this paragraph in the same way that it is spelled here. After you spell it, press the check spelling button following the text box to see if you were correct. If you were, the link to advance to the next section of the tutorial will display after the button. If you were wrong, you can try again or click the skip exercise link if you want to continue anyhow.
This is a nice way to get, you've already seen how character, this is an example of how you can use character navigation levels. So we'll try this one more time. I'll just show you what it's like to.
Here's the imaginary word again, afflorable.
So let's go to word navigation and go to the word flurble.
Object, line, word, here.
Excuse me.
E, echo, H, anyhow. Here, E, R, E, H is the imaginary.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my keys confused. Like I said, I've only been using this for 2 days.
Word, again, afflorable.
So, we're on word. Let's go navigate to character level.
Character, F, L, E, U, R, P, P, E, L. Lima.
So let's go back again, make sure we got that spelled right.
E, L, F, L, E, U, R, P, P, E, L. Lima. Word, L. Line. Here is the type afflorable here to continue. Edit text. F.
Notice I push L and nothing happens.
Link list. Use up and down arrow keys to browse or to...
This is what I was talking about when I say sometimes you forget you have sticky mode on. So let's get out of here. Incidentally, if you press ChromeVox plus L twice, it will bring up this link list, which is really handy.
Exited. Link list. Type a florple here to...
So let's disable sticky mode.
Sticky mode disabled.
Again, 2 commands.
Unselected. F.
So let's try again.
F. L. U. P. P. U. E. U. R. P. E. L.
So let's reactivate sticky mode.
Sticky mode enabled. Check spelling. Button. Check spelling. Button.
So
Congratulations. Press enter to continue the next step. Link. Congratulations. Press enter to continue the next step. Link. Word. Congratulations. Press enter to next step. Continue. Link. Continue to next. Jump commands. ChromeVox allows you to jump to objects such as headings, links, and form fields. To use a jump command, press Enter P. Release, then quickly press another key. N stands for next item and P stands for previous item. Let's move to the next link on this page by pressing ChromeVox plus N followed by L.
So with sticky mode enabled, all we have to do is press N and then L.
You found the link. Now press the down arrow to move to the next paragraph. Internal link. You've.
Oops.
Line. You found the object. You found group. You to jump to headings. Tap the N or P key and then H. To move through headings of a specific level, press Enter P and then a number representing the level you want to go to. Heading levels vary from level 1 to level 6, with level 1 as the most important and level 6 as the least. There are a few headings of varying levels following this paragraph group. Try exploring them. To move to the first heading, press N followed by H. The next instructions are in the paragraph with a level 4 heading entitled, quote, Moving on, quote. You can always skip this exercise at any time by moving to the next section. Link on this page.
So let's do that. Let's go ahead and push ChromeVox N, followed by H.
Interesting trivia. Heading 1.
And I believe it said level 4 heading for the next set of directions. So we're going to push N, 4.
Moving on. Heading 4.
So let's continue.
Continue to next section. Tables. Link. Object. Continue to next section. Tables. Link. Continue moving around tables. Now that you know the basics of navigating around a page with ChromeVox, we want to start introducing some features of ChromeVox that make it easier to perform more complex navigation.
Now, I'm not going to have it read through everything. Suffice it to say, if it sees a table and it knows it's a table, it's going to enter table mode automatically. In that instance, you can use the arrow keys plus ChromeVox to navigate around as you would a normal page. The only difference is that instead of navigating you around text, it will navigate you around the cells within the table. One interesting glitch on this page, however, let's go ahead and move down to the table itself. As soon as actually no, because I need to refresh on which command it was. No, wait, no, I'm sorry, I know. It's ChromeVox TE. You can think of it as ChromeVox table and then either enter or exit. So let's go down to the table.
Animals. Continue to next section. Table. Legs. Number of legs of animals.
So right now we're in the table. What if I want to get out of the table? So we've got the ChromeVox keys on sticky mode, so they're enabled. So let's go T-E.
Not inside table.
Not inside table, and yet there's a table in there. I'm not sure if that's bad web design on their part because it's not identifying itself properly or what's going on. I do know HTML code, so I could go in and fix this, but at the moment, I'm still trying to figure out what could be causing the problem. My guess is that it's just not identifying itself properly. So let's go ahead and continue through this table.
Copyright. Continue to next section. Getting help. Continue to Getting help. The ChromeVox command help menu allows you to browse and search through the full list of ChromeVox commands. You can use the up or down arrow keys to browse through the available shortcuts, or start typing to narrow down the list. Once you've found the command you want, pressing the ChromeVox keys will close the menu. Take a few moments to explore the ChromeVox command help menu now. Then move to the next paragraph. You can open the ChromeVox command help menu by pressing ChromeVox plus period.
So let's do that. ChromeVox plus period. If you have sticky modes enabled, then it's just period.
Keyboard help. Enter a search query.
So let's see.
Jump. Stop speech. Control. Menu item. Press enter to accept or escape to cancel. Down for next and up for previous.
So let's move down.
Prefix key. Control. Semicolon. Menu item. Jump to previous focusable item. Shift plus tab. Stop speech. Control. Menu item. Press enter to accept or escape to cancel. Down for next and up for previous.
So let's go ahead and press enter.
Getting help. Heading 1. Line. Getting help. Object group. Getting help. Heading 1. The ChromeVox. Here's a fun exercise. Use the help menu to find the shortcut to move to the next button. This button will enable you to move to the next section of the tutorial. You'll have to use the shortcut to get there quickly, because we've created a maze of empty form fields around the button you want, or you can click the link following this paragraph to skip this exercise. Press ChromeVox plus period to open the shortcut menu now.
I've got a better idea. Because we've learned about jump commands, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push N followed by L.
Continue to next section, address bar, link. Wrap to top, Chrome.
Whoop. Ah. So let's see. Let's try this. Looks like we will need help after all. See what happens when you're just learning out? Starting out, learning out, whatever.
Keyboard help. Enter a search query.
So let's see.
Jump to N. Next focusable item. Tab. Menu item. Press enter to accept or escape to cancel. Down for next and up for previous.
Let's try B. Okay, it won't take it, so let's try again. Hit N. Oops.
Jump to previous focusable item. Shift plus tab. Jump to N. Next focusable item. Tab. Menu item. Jump to next focusable item. Tab. Menu item. Jump to N. Next focusable item. Prefix key. Control semicolon. E. N. Disable sticky mode. CMD. Perform default active. N. Enter. Menu item.
So this is one of the things that I hate about help mode. It's just not. It just doesn't feel straightforward. So the best thing that we can do in this instance is try to experiment. So we're going to get out of here.
Exited. Keyboard help.
So we're going to try. I'm going to try something. Let's see.
You found it. Press enter to continue the next step button.
So that was actually pretty straightforward. If you remember, N for next, P for previous, and then you could choose what do you want to jump around by. Links, for L for links, H for headings, in this case B for buttons, F for form fields. So we're going to go and push this button.
Click. You found using the address bar that sits at the top of the browser window, sometimes called the quote omnibox, quote doubles as a search box. You can use the address bar to search the web, visit web addresses and search for apps, bookmarks, browsing history, and related items. Once in the address bar, you can type search terms or a web address. Either press enter to activate the address or press tab until you get back to the page again. Move to the address bar and back again now by using Ctrl plus L, then press tab until you reach the link that will bring you to the next section. Continue to next section, working with tabs.
So let's go to the Omnibox with Control L. This is where I should point something out. They say you can use voiceover concurrently with ChromeVox, and that they would take turns. Well, I'm not sure what they did in previous operating systems, but apparently in OS X Mavericks they don't. They tend to speak over one another. I think voiceover likes to take priority, in fact. So let's go ahead and push Control L. Now, it didn't say anything, but supposedly... Hang on, let me see. I think... Oh, sticky mode is still enabled.
Sticky mode disabled.
Now, Control L. Like I said, it didn't say anything. But supposedly we're in the Omnibox. See, that's the problem. I can't get it to work. So I'm wondering if this is not a bug in the documentation. I'm going to try Command L, see what that does. Aha! So Command L brings us into the Omnibox. This is an unfortunate oversight, I think, on the part of the documentation team, because Control is a ChromeVox key if it's pressed with Command. But if you're familiar with transferring from Windows to Macintosh, you know that pretty much everything that had a Control prefix on it on the Windows side has a Command prefix on the Mac side. If you can remember that, I think you'd be fine. But like I said, it's just a documentation. I think sloppy documentation on their part. So Command L, not Control L on the Mac. I think if you were on ChromeVox or Windows, it would be Control L because there is no Command key, obviously. Let's hit Tab. And where the heck are we?
Chrome.
There we go.
List with 2 items. ChromeVox user guide.
Let me try that again. I'm going to try something. I'm going to activate voiceover and see what happens.
Voiceover on.
So let's try again. Command L.
Open location, www.chromebox.com/tutorial/address_bar.html. Content selected. Address and search bar. Edit text.
So let's go ahead and hit Tab.
Avast. Online security button. Glossary button. Disconnect button. History eraser button. Hangouts button. Chrome button. Leaving toolbar. Link. ChromeVox user guide. List 2 items.
So let's try navigating with the sticky mode enabled.
You are currently on a link.
Let's try hitting down arrow, see what happens. Aha! So,
Sticky mode enabled.
oh, there we go. Let's try again.
List with 2 items. ChromeVox user guide. Link list item. List with 11 items. Using the address bar that sits at the top of the browser window.
Inside of a list. To click this link, press Control Option Space.
Continue to next section. Working with tabs. Link. Object.
Link. Continue to next section. Working with tabs.
Link.
This is what I mean when I say sometimes they like to talk over each other.
You are currently on a link. Inside of Step 10. Link image. Chrome. Link image. Chrome. List 2 items. Link. ChromeVox.
So let's turn off voiceover because otherwise things are going to get very confusing.
Voiceover off.
Let's go ahead and continue.
Line. List with 2 items. Chrome. Object. Group. List with 11. Working with tabs. Chrome OS enables you to have multiple web pages open at the same time through the use of tabs. This tutorial is currently running in its own tab. Let's try creating a new tab. Then moving back to this tutorial. To create a new tab, press Ctrl+T. Then once you've created the new...
That's another typo. On the Macintosh, that would be Command+T. Let's continue.
Let's try creating a new tab. Then moving back to this tutorial. To create a new tab, press Ctrl+T. Then once you've created the new tab, press Ctrl plus the tab key until you get back to the tutorial.
Now, another way you can actually do this quicker is Control+Shift+Tab. And the way I was able to deduce that is if you're familiar with basic screen reader navigation on any platform, you know that a lot of times Tab will move you forward, Shift-Tab will move you back. Using that same premise, it's actually foreseeable that that Control-Shift-Tab would move us backwards. So we're going to do that instead. So let's go ahead and try creating a new tab with Command-T.
New tab, tab.
Okay. Now we are going to utilize another tab, or I'm sorry, to utilize another tab. We're going to go back to the previous tab.
Untitled 1.jpg 500.
For those of you who can see, we'll get to this in a moment.
Step 10 of 11.
So now we've moved back to the tutorial.
Once you've done this, press Ctrl+Tab. To move to the new tab, then press Ctrl+W. This will close the new tab. Be careful you don't press Ctrl+W on the tutorial page, otherwise the tutorial will close.
So let's do that. Control-Tab to the new tab.
And new tab, tab.
Now it said Control-W. Again, that's a mistype on their part. Command-W to close. I'm sorry, to close tabs. Now they got me doing it. Command-W.
Untitled 1.jpg 500 tab.
So let's go ahead and move back with Control-Shift-Tab.
Step 10 of 11 working with tabs, tab.
So let's continue.
If this happens, press ChromeVox plus H at the same time to start the tutorial again.
That's another handy command. What happens if you press Control ChromeVox plus H is that it will bring you back to this tutorial that we're on right now, which is basically just a web page.
Continue to next section, conclusion, link, object, continue to next section, conclusion, link, continue to, congratulations, you've reached the end of the tutorial. This is the last page for now. We've covered the basics of using ChromeVox, but there's still a lot more to come. Stay tuned. If you're ever lost, confused, think you might have found a bug in ChromeVox, or all three, please let us know on the Ask Chrome Discuss mailing list.
So that was just basically an overview of how to get Chrome working with its built-in screen reader ChromeVox. And as you can see, there are some bugs, but I would say for a first get out of the gate, it's pretty usable. Let's go into this other tab that I was mentioning a moment ago.
Untitled 1.jpg 500 tab.
Many of you may have noticed this, for those of you who have not transferred over your screen names yet to your full name or whatever it is. Google has been pushing and pushing and pushing for me to get a Google Plus account tied with this YouTube account. Just the other night, they asked me again, and they're going to keep asking me, I think, until I do it. But because if you clear out of it, it's going to say, okay, we'll ask again later. I want to ask you guys something. Should I do it? Should I create a Google Plus account for this channel? Why do you think I should do it? Why don't you think I should do it? This is you. This is all you, okay? I need some input here because I really don't know if there will be benefit or not. What do you guys think? Should I just keep ignoring what Google's saying? Should I do it and attempt to utilize it for you guys? How could I use it? What do you think? With that having been said, let's go ahead and deactivate Chrome. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need to get voiceover back on.
Voiceover on.
I'm sorry, deactivate ChromeVox. So to do that, we have voiceover on. Let's continue.
Step 1 Untitled 1.jpg new tab button. Full screen button. Toolbar. Untitled 1 toolbar. Interact with toolbar. Forward, reload, resort, avest, glossary, disconnect, history eraser, hangouts button, Chrome button.
So let's go ahead and push this. It says Chrome, but it's actually a context menu.
Menu, 17 items. New tab, command, new bookmark, recent, edit, zoom, save, find, print, tools, submenu, tools, 8 items, extensions. Closing menu, Chrome.
So I've turned off voiceover, so let's...
Sticky mode disabled. Sticky mode enabled.
Let's move back to ChromeVox.
Extensions. Developer. Avast Online. 8. Avast. Online security. Permissions. Allow and it enabled. Check. Not from Chrome. Button. Not from Chrome Web Store.
This will only appear if you're using Chrome on a regular PC. Obviously, if you're using it on a Chromebook, you won't have to worry about that.
Button. ChromeVox. Button.
That unlabeled button is actually your delete button. Again, I think a poor design element.
ChromeVox. 1. ChromeVox. Permission. Visit. Allow and incognito options. Intern. Allow and visit website. Allow option. Enabled. Checkbox checked.
Okay, so now we're unchecked, so ChromeVox has been disabled. Now, what do you guys think? Should I enable that Google Plus account? Shouldn't I? Also, what did you think of the tutorial? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome and have a nice day.